Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. As always, you bring the curiosity and we'll bring those knowledge excavators. Today, we're diving into the world of generative AI workshops that are designed specifically with leaders in mind.
It's exciting stuff.
It is. And joining us to help unpack all of this is, of course, our expert who has a real knack for synthesizing information and connecting those dots.
Well, I'm excited to delve into this with you. Generative AI is truly revolutionizing the way we work and lead.
It really is. So we've been digging into some information about GreenPepper and the work that they do. Can you tell me more about these workshops they offer and what types of leaders should consider signing up?
Sure. GreenPepper actually offers a variety of generative AI workshops, and they've really tailored these workshops for different leadership roles. So we're talking, founders, educators, functional managers, really anyone in a leadership position.
It sounds like they're really trying to make this accessible.
Exactly. They've recognized that AI leadership isn't a one-size-fits-all approach. So they've developed programs to cater to those various needs.
Okay, so it's about empowering leaders at all levels to embrace AI effectively.
Absolutely.
I like that. But let's get specific, What do these workshops actually cover?
Well, at their core, they focus on equipping leaders with both the knowledge and the practical skills that they need to actually leverage generative AI. For instance, participants will gain a deep understanding of how generative AI works, its potential impact on business processes, and even how it can boost individual productivity.
So it's not just about understanding the technology in a vacuum, but how it fits into the bigger picture.
Exactly.
And I imagine that's crucial for leaders who are making these strategic decisions.
Absolutely. And to ensure that this understanding translates into action, they incorporate hands-on experience with popular AI tools. Things like ChatGPT-4, Claude, Gemini, Copilot. It's one thing to read about these tools, but it's quite another to actually use them.
Absolutely. To get your hands dirty, so to
Yeah.
speak. So it's about giving leaders that practical hands-on experience, something they can take away and implement right away. It's not just theoretical.
Precisely.
Now, you mentioned they have different types of workshops. What formats do they offer?
They do. They offer a range of options to accommodate different schedules and levels of commitment. So for those looking for a quick but comprehensive introduction, they have 3-hour programs. If you're looking for a deeper dive, they offer 6 to 8-hour workshops.
Okay.
And for leaders who are ready to go all in, they have a 7-day accelerator program and even a 12-week coaching program designed specifically for leadership development in the age of AI.
Wow, so they really do have something for everyone.
They do.
It's like choose your own adventure for generative AI leadership training.
I like that. I like that a lot.
But what about the actual learning experience within these workshops? Is it all lectures or is it more interactive?
GreenPepper really emphasizes a hands-on approach. They use a blend of masterclasses, action sprints, and collaborative use case building exercises. So in the masterclasses, they have experts leading in-depth sessions on very specific aspects of generative AI and its applications.
Okay, so there's definitely that focus on real-world application,
Yeah.
not just the theory.
Exactly.
What about the action sprints? What are those like?
That's where it gets really interesting. Action sprints are focused, time-bound activities, and they're designed to help leaders actually apply what they've learned to their own unique business challenges.
So it's like a practical application boot camp for generative AI.
Exactly. It's about taking those aha moments and turning them into actual strategies.
That makes a lot of sense. And then you also mentioned these use case building exercises. What do those look like in practice?
So in those sessions, participants work together, it's very collaborative, and they develop and explore practical, generative AI use cases that are relevant to their industries or their specific roles. So imagine like a team of marketing leaders and they're brainstorming how to leverage AI for these hyper-personalized campaigns. Or you have a group of product managers who are exploring how to use AI to analyze user feedback and identify areas, where they can improve.
I could see how that kind of collaborative problem solving would be so valuable,
Yeah.
especially with, a technology that is evolving as rapidly as generative AI is.
Right.
It's like a hive mind of innovation in a way.
Exactly.
Now, GreenPepper has worked with a really interesting and diverse range of leaders and organizations.
They have.
Can you give us a sense of some of the specific ways that participants are using generative AI after they've gone through these workshops?
Sure. So let's say you're a startup founder, for example.
Okay.
You're juggling a million things at once.
Right.
These workshops can help you discover how to use AI tools to automate tasks, analyze data, even craft, compelling marketing content, freeing up your time so you can focus on bigger picture strategy.
It's like having a super-powered assistant who can handle all those tedious, time-consuming tasks.
Exactly.
That's got to be a game changer for busy founders.
Oh, absolutely. But it's not just for startups. Let's say you're leading a team in a large manufacturing company.
Okay.
GreenPepper can guide you on how to utilize AI for things like supply chain optimization, improving production efficiency, even developing innovative new products.
So regardless of your industry or the size of your organization, these workshops can provide the tools and knowledge to leverage generative AI effectively.
Precisely.
Okay.
They help leaders identify those areas where AI can make the biggest impact within their specific context, and then they empower them with the skills to actually implement those solutions.
Now, you mentioned something earlier that I wanted to circle back to, and that was this idea of tool exploration.
Right.
Can you elaborate on how GreenPepper incorporates that into their workshops?
Sure. So they actually have dedicated time built into their programs specifically for participants to actually experiment with different AI tools. And of course, this is with guidance from expert facilitators.
Okay.
It's about giving leaders that hands-on experience, but in a very safe and supportive learning environment.
That's so crucial, especially considering how many different AI tools are out there right now.
Mm.
It can be overwhelming,
Absolutely.
just even knowing where to begin.
It's very true.
So it sounds like GreenPepper can help cut through the noise and identify which tools are most relevant and most effective for, the specific challenges that leaders are facing.
Exactly. And they don't just throw you in the deep end.
Mm.
They give you that structured guidance. They make sure participants feel confident exploring these tools, experimenting with different applications.
And to really solidify that learning, they also incorporate these live demos into their workshops.
Yes, the mind-blowing live demos. Tell me more about those. Why are they so impactful? Well, I think because they showcase real-world applications of these AI tools and techniques. It's one thing to talk about it, but to actually see it in action, I imagine that can be really powerful, especially for those who may be new to this technology.
Right.
It really drives home those possibilities in a way that just talking about it can't.
It makes it real.
Exactly. It's about experiencing the power of AI firsthand. I'm sure that makes it much less intimidating as well.
Absolutely.
But even with those hands-on experiences, the live demos, generative AI can still feel like very uncharted territory for a lot of people.
Right.
How does GreenPepper provide continued support for leaders, after the workshops are over?
That's a great question. And that's where their commitment to this very holistic approach really shines.
Okay.
So they actually provide participants with what they call playbooks.
Mm.
And these are essentially practical guides and frameworks that are designed specifically for implementing AI solutions.
Okay.
So think of it as a roadmap for navigating the world of AI even after the workshop is done. So they're not just giving you the knowledge, but they're also giving you the tools and the resources to actually apply that knowledge effectively.
Exactly. And to further support that ongoing learning and implementation, they offer what they call huddles.
Okay.
So these are smaller, more intimate group discussions, and they're really focused on tackling those very specific AI challenges or exploring those unique opportunities that might arise.
It's a chance for continued collaboration and problem solving and knowledge sharing, even after that initial workshop is over.
Exactly. It's that ongoing support system.
I like that a lot.
And then, of course, for those who want even more personalized guidance, they do offer one-on-one coaching sessions with AI specialists.
Oh, wow.
So these sessions allow leaders to really dive deep into their specific challenges, or maybe they have aspirations, and they can receive tailored advice and support.
So they've really thought of everything to make sure that leaders feel supported and empowered throughout that entire AI journey.
They really have.
And that kind of comprehensive approach is so refreshing, especially in a field that can often feel very overwhelming and inaccessible.
Absolutely.
Now, speaking of accessibility, I wanted to talk about a key element of generative AI that I know GreenPepper dedicates a significant amount of time to in these workshops, and that's prompt engineering.
Right.
It's so crucial, but it can also feel a bit mysterious to some people.
It can.
Can you break that down for our listeners who may not be as familiar and explain how GreenPepper approaches this within their workshops.
Yeah, you're right. It's often seen as this kind of mysterious, almost magical skill.
Right.
But GreenPepper really breaks it down in a way that's both practical and actionable.
Okay.
Essentially, prompt engineering is about crafting those precise inputs, the prompts, as they're called, that you feed into an AI model to get the desired output. Think of it as learning the language of AI.
So it's not just about knowing which buttons to press, but understanding how to communicate effectively with these AI tools.
Exactly. You wouldn't just walk into a library and randomly pull a book off the shelf hoping it has the information you need.
Right. Right.
Prompt engineering is about being that skilled librarian for the world of AI.
It's about knowing how to ask the right questions in the right way
Yeah.
to unlock those insights.
Exactly.
That makes a lot of sense. So how does GreenPepper help leaders to develop this very important skill within their workshops?
Well, they actually dedicate specific modules within their workshops to really diving deep into these principles of, effective prompt engineering.
Okay.
So participants will learn how to structure their prompts, how to refine them for different tasks, and even how to really critically analyze the AI's output to further refine their approach.
It's an iterative process,
It is.
constantly learning, refining your ability to communicate with these tools.
Exactly.
That's really neat. I can imagine that being a game changer for a lot of people in terms of unlocking the power of generative AI.
Absolutely. And it's through this process that they really emphasize the importance of not just using AI efficiently, but also using it ethically, using it responsibly.
That's a really important aspect that we haven't touched on yet. How do these workshops actually address the ethical considerations surrounding generative AI?
It's actually woven throughout the entire curriculum.
Okay.
GreenPepper encourages leaders to think critically about the implications of AI, to really engage in open dialogues about things like potential biases, and to consider diverse perspectives when they're implementing these, very powerful tools within their organizations.
So it's not just about the how-to, but also the why and should we in the first place,
Exactly. It's about empowering leaders to be responsible stewards of AI.
to shape how it moves forward in a way that's beneficial.
Exactly.
That's powerful. We've talked a lot about the structure, the content, the format of these workshops, but what's the overall feedback been like from participants?
The feedback has been overwhelmingly positive. Participants really highlight the value, the practicality, and just the transformative nature of these workshops. I think one participant even mentioned that attending was like getting a crash course in the future, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
It is. They're empowering leaders to not just survive in this age of AI, but to really thrive.
Oh, this deep dive has been incredible. It's clear that GreenPepper has created something truly unique with these generative AI workshops for leaders. From the hands-on experience, expert-led masterclasses, that emphasis on ethical considerations, the focus on practical application, they're really providing that roadmap for navigating this exciting and sometimes complex world of AI.
I agree.
For our listeners who are ready to kind of embark on their own AI journey, I highly recommend checking out GreenPepper. You can find all the details in the episode notes. And as always, thank you for joining us for another deep dive. Until next time, keep those brains buzzing and those questions flowing.